it is time for another Pop Snark. We talk about everything from the low brow to the high brow, as long as your eyebrows are on fleek. Holiday season always sucks for me, no matter what I try and do. It has been a very emotionally rough week for me. Lol, fix it, Jesus, fix it. But I am super excited because I'm spending Christmas with the KG lifestyle. And so when all the fuckery was happening last week, if all this ish, I'm gonna be in Dallas on Christmas Eve. So it don't even matter. This week, I will not be sipping along to nothing because I have been in a serious funk. And if I sip on something, I ain't finna get no work done. And y'all want this video up on Sunday, not on Monday. Y'all know I've been slipping. You're free to sip along to whatever you like. That's part of the fun of this Pop Snark series. Don't let my funk get to you. I want Pop Snark to be a little bit more interactive. I know at the end of the video, I usually ask you guys a question, and that gets people to comment. But it also kind of skips over the 20 other things that I talk about during the video. And I want this to be more of a dialogue. So it's gonna be a Q&A. You can comment as you watch the video. Don't feel no shame in your game. Girl, it's 'tis the season for giving. So I hope not only have you gotten your Smart Brown Girl shirts, sizing charts are now finally up on the website. Oh, send it on my book, a collection of short stories. I've been talking a lot more about emotions and vulnerability and all that stuff. And all that is in here. It's a collection of short stories about the coming of age of a young woman. I have autographed copies still available on Jouelzy.com. It comes with an autographed copy, and you can ask me a question and I will send you a handwritten letter. I don't know what the world is coming to. Nobody knows what the world is coming to. I just want to go to sleep and wake up and let it all be super duper grand. So I guess we should go right into talking about what happened in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. Now, I moved from Brooklyn. Has it been 3 years? Oh my gosh, time goes by so fast. And the last place that I lived was on Tompkins and Decatur. And so the shooting that happened was quite close to where I used to live in Brooklyn. Ismail Brinsley, a 28-year-old, shot and killed, execution style, 2 police officers who were sitting on Tompkins and Myrtle. It's just been turned and convoluted into this is what the protests for Black Lives Matter have resulted in, and that is complete and utter bullshit, and I just don't have any other nicer terms to bring that to. So what happened since Mr. Brinsley decided to post pictures on Instagram saying that he was going to murder 2 police officers, then randomly go murder 2 police officers who weren't even white police officers? It was now turned around is Giuliani, and not necessarily the heads of NYPD, but unions and associations that are associated with the NYPD, heads of those organizations, have spoken up and said that protesters, Obama, and Mayor Bill de Blasio have blood on their hands because of this one young man. So when are we going to start talking about the mental illness issue that's clearly going on here? Because we definitely started talking about it as soon as the Aurora, Colorado shooter got caught. And as a matter of fact, his case is about to come up. We definitely started talking about it immediately as the Sandy Hook massacre happened. So how soon before we start talking about Mr. Brinsley's mental health issues? Oh, that's right, he's a black man. Shucks. Regardless of somebody's profession, it's the loss of human life. It's a loss of innocent human life for no reason. And you know, what's even sadder about this story is he murdered his girlfriend in Baltimore prior to fleeing to Brooklyn. And her story is almost entirely erased from this narrative of what was going on in the mind of Ismail Brinsley prior to shooting the police officers. Azealia Banks, the rapper. I don't know how many of you guys know of her. She has a song called The 212. The 212. She did an interview on Hot 97. I have a hard time with her because she literally takes like 2 steps forwards and 3 steps back. And you know, as much as she is a creative and she's a right to speak her mind, and I don't need to agree with everything she says or does, she's just on multiple times said things, people have tried to check her on it, and she absolutely refuses to back down or look at the other side of the coin or understand other people's perspective. You be trying to rock with her, you be like, oh girl, you making some good points, and then she just goes too far and you gotta be like, ooh. She made a very good point about how the music industry works, and as someone who formerly worked in the music industry, I totally do kind of get her frustration with this system. The music industry is inherently racist. People are much more quicker to buy music from someone who is white, regardless of what genre it is, than they are from someone who is black. Iggy is very much so winning off of her pale complexion and blonde hair. Like, she can't deny the part that her privilege plays because she can't really rap. Her album sucks, and her label is still pushing so much money behind her to make her a a hit, and those same opportunities do not go to Black artists. What happens when you sign, you could take someone like Kia Victoria, for example, who I play a ton of in my YouTube videos. And I remember talking to an A&R at Universal about her, because being like, you know, it's gonna take so much money to put her out. Like, she's a dope artist, but like the money we have to put into her because she's a Black female, we gotta put hair, makeup, studio time, and you know, it's like, what radio stations are we pushing her to, right? It's the same mechanics that work on this YouTube space. And but for whatever reason, white is what is accepted across cultural lines. That's why Nicki Minaj went as hard as she did with some of that pink hair, bubblegum ish that we were looking at her crazy for. But, you know, she had to do it in order to make herself a crossover pop artist. And now she can rap and be the person that she wants to be and still have this cross-cultural appeal around the globe and not just be relegated to being a Black female rapper who can only correlate to other Black women. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts were on the actual interview. I promise you, that whole, oh, well, she worked mad hard for it, whatever. Girl, that's not how the industry works. As someone who's been in it, it's not. There's a definite machine behind her. I think Azealia and Q-Tips and these other artists' point is that same machine is not really put behind other Black artists. I think the last Black artist I've really seen have a similar machine pushed behind them is Rihanna, and her label didn't do that. When Rihanna had that tipping point between doing SOS and then coming back out with the new haircut and doing Umbrella and all that stuff, her management team, not Def Jam, not Universal, her management team funneled that machine by her. That was someone making a personal investment in her and seeing that this can really go very far. I meant to talk about this last week, the torture report. So the Senate released a 600-page torture report with the 88-page summary. Most of the major news outlets have done write-ups on the torture report, and it is gruesome, it is disgusting, it is horrible. And the crazy part is the people that are involved in it, Dick Cheney said they would do it all over again. America essentially is a world power. These sort of torture tactics were being used in another country. The people that were implementing and overseeing these torture tactics would be put on trial. I was reading an article on Washington Post or the New York Times that basically said the only way to curtail this from happening again is to give the people involved immunity so that they will be honest about what happened and how it happened. Like, the CIA is on some B613-ish, and they just out here rectally feeding, waterboarding, and doing all sorts of crazy-ish to these men out in Guantanamo Bay without any oversight. Like, I was waiting for Papa Pope to jump out of the torture report and be like, gotcha. Am I the only one out here that feels like ish has gotten real wild in 2014? D'Angelo, has it been a week yet? D'Angelo dropped the Black Messiah album out of the middle of nowhere with no promotion. I love all of the Black Messiah album, even though I can only understand the words on 3 of the songs. Sonically, it is a beautiful album. The music on it is great. But he just refused to enunciate. 80% of the album is like Ryan Leslie's gibberish. Remember that song? So my favorite songs are Sugar Daddy, Betray My Heart, and Another Life. Betray My Heart, I actually understand the words too, so I can kind of sort of sing along to that. Have you heard the D'Angelo album? And let me know what your favorite songs are down below. Nicki Minaj broke up with her longtime boo, Safri. Is that this nigga name? I'm gonna be real with y'all. I never really got their relationship. They didn't look like they went together. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but he just was so scrawny and so little and like so fugazi that I just didn't get what Nicki saw in him. The most enjoyable thing about this entire breakup is when I heard about her burning his car and him trying to call the police on her. But the thing is, it's the car that she bought him, so it's still in her name, so technically he couldn't do shit. I feel like that's my idea of an update, to quote Nicki. I almost want to aspire to be like that. I expect nothing less than bitch shit from Safri, so I'm surprised that the breakup thus far, outside of that one little itty bitty Twitter spat they had, hasn't gotten any messier than what it is. So did you know that Sony was hacked, supposedly by North Korean hackers? Now, you know, North Korea has basically been cut off from the rest of the world and modern day technology and resources and like food. They've been starving for like the past 60 years. And so supposedly hackers got into the Sony system, leaked some movies. I enjoyed it. In retribution for Seth Rogen and James Franco's The Interview movie, where in the movie, Kim Jong-un's head is being blown up in like a rather kind of like gruesome satirical way or something crazy. I personally feel like this is the biggest marketing troll ever. Like, this is giving The Interview so much press. So many people want to see the movie now that even though supposedly Sony has pulled releasing the movie from any movie theaters because these North Korean hackers have threatened to like bomb something. With what bombs? I don't know. Of course, because every pop snark now, we have to talk about Bill Cosby. When's the last time we haven't talked about Bill Cosby? His wife, Camille, finally released a statement. His daughter, Evan, the same one who released a statement a couple years ago saying she doesn't identify with black people, also released a statement. And basically, they said they stand by their father and husband. Duh. I think Evan went a little further on to say that she feels like people who falsely accuse people of rape should go to jail just like the rapist. And so I guess she's implying that this is false accusations. I don't expect anything less or more from them. Somebody called me out on Instagram to wrap up this pop snark about the fact that I said 2 pop snarks ago that I was going to talk about Serial, the podcast. Serial ended this past Thursday. The season finale came out. The whole team did a wonderful job. This podcast literally came out in October. We haven't even had it for a full 3 months and everyone is obsessed with it. It covered the real life case of the murder of Hae Min Lee, conviction of her ex-boyfriend Adnan Syed in Baltimore, Maryland in 1999. Adnan has now been in prison for 15 years and the case was brought to it was captivating because you go through like the full kind of breadth of human emotion, and feeling really bad for Hae's family because this is bringing up a lot of like hurt and pain, and nobody really wants to have to relive the murder of their teenage child, you know. And then also a lot of feelings toward Adnan and his family because you hear Sarah's interviews with Adnan and you really do like him. Like, he seems like such a likable person, and even Sarah, she's like, based off of human emotion, I couldn't fathom that someone like Adnan would murder Hae, but this is not about human emotion. This is about the facts of the case, and so we're going to dig into the facts. But it's like they would uncover one stony. We get so close to believing that, yeah, it wasn't Adnan, free Adnan, yada, yada, yada. And then there was another layer of uncertainty that just came in, and there was, you know, the fact that no one could just remember exactly what happened on that day 15 years ago. It just was so like crazy. You wanted to sit here and you wanted to figure out what these people look like, and you had to find out more information. And it's like, it wasn't a show that you just listened to and then got it with your day and go about. Like, you want to read more information about what's going on with Serial. It was an excellently produced podcast. With regards to the finale, without trying to give away too many spoilers, I personally so much admire Sarah's journalistic integrity and her being so honest with herself as a human being in saying that she did feel bad with not being able to come up with a concrete answer or some revelation that would either confirm Adnan's guilt or confirm his innocence. And then also, you know, her being honest with kind of her own doubt and, you know, her own emotional weight that played into how she carried this story out. I enjoyed it. It was like the best part of my Thursday mornings, that and then be able to listen to the read after. Serial is like a good dose of like intelligence. It's a good dose of thriller. It's a good dose of a good story, a good narrative, and just there's so many things you can take away from it that I think this is why it reached a great diverse spectrum of people. And the MailChimp ad at the beginning, MailChimp, was so cute. So check out Serial. And if you listen to Serial, let me know what you thought of the finale. And do you think Adnan did it? And if you think Adnan is innocent, who killed Hae? Let me know what you're doing for this holiday season. Are you volunteering? Are you giving back to your community? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thanks for watching. Deuces!